Alright, good morning YouTube. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you one of my favorite workouts for GPP, for conditioning, for just making sure that my calisthenic base is always there. And it's something that I do usually on deload weeks or just whenever I kind of feel like it, especially during the, all the quarantines and the shutdown. This is when I kind of did this the most consistently, just because it was all I had access to. So I would go to the park, either walk or run there, just to stay a little bit active, and then do this workout. Now, this is something that you can do at home if all you have is a pull-up bar, and this is a workout that you can modify for whatever situation that you're in, whether you are advanced, novice, it doesn't matter. This is a great workout, and it is the PT Pyramid made by Stu Smith. So let's get into the video. Okay, so the PT Pyramid was created by Stu Smith, sorry, a lot of S's there. He was a Navy SEAL, former Navy SEAL. I think he was in the teams for about 8 years. He has a CSCS from the NSCA. So the requirements for that, I think, is that you need to have first been a CPT, and then you need to get a degree. It can be any degree, but you need a degree, and then you need to pass their CSCS certification. So he knows his stuff. It's a simple calisthenics workout. And like I said, it can be modified to your level of advancement. Traditionally, it's done with pull-ups, push-ups, and sit-ups. Reason being is because since he has a military background, and since the military fitness test at the time was very simplistic and minimalistic, where pull-ups, push-ups, and sit-ups take care of a majority of what they test you on, just because it's standardized, it's easy to implement, doesn't require much equipment, and then you can go from there. Now, that's how it's traditionally done. You can make modifications, like I said, on your level of advancement, but also to whatever your goals are. So you can make it weighted pull-ups, you can do dips, you can choose a different ab variation like crunches, leg raises, and whatever. And I will have a chart shown up so that way you can kind of take a screenshot and you can try out this workout for yourself. So what is it good for? GPP and conditioning, so general physical preparedness. Too often, in a lot of programs, this is kind of neglected, and I think calisthenics is actually the best place or the best way to implement GPP. So when it comes to calisthenics, being able to move your body through space, there is going to be a component of actual fitness, not just strength, not just muscle size, but actual genuine fitness. Can you do a push-up? Can you do a pull-up? Can you use your core? Like, these are things that aren't always addressed in a lot of programs. I mean, if you take a look at, let's say, starting strength, strong lifts, Grayskull LP, or any other of these novice powerlifting programs, they often neglect establishing a calisthenics base. Now, as a power builder, I do think that the combination of powerlifting and calisthenic training, are very, very useful, simply because Alpha Destiny released a video recently where he made an argument saying that calisthenics will equal aesthetics, and I actually agree with this wholeheartedly. And furthermore, if you look at, let's say, powerlifting training and calisthenics style training, it is very novice friendly because you are spending so much time with basic movements, the bench press, the squat, the deadlift, and you supplement that with pull-ups, push-ups, dips, planks, whatever. You will build a very wide base of performance, of strength, and muscle. So that's why I think doing calisthenics is very useful. And then, of course, because it's done with minimal rest, it's done as a circuit, there's going to be an element of cardiovascular conditioning, and that's good. So if you hate regular cardio, you can do something like this that gets your heart rate up and you'll be fine. It's really good for people who are in the military searching or looking to be who are looking to enlist or become commissioned in the military. Police, fire, tactical occupations, and conditions will also benefit from this style of training, and so will time-constrained individuals. So it's very easy to turn this into something like a Metcon or a WOD. Unfortunately, I have to use that term, but if you are CrossFit-minded, you can do this in that way. Anyway, the workout itself, it's fairly simple. It's 10 sets. So it goes up, and then you can either stop it once you hit that final set of 10, and then as we'll discuss later, you can advance it and actually go up and down. So it's 1 pull-up, 2 push-ups, 3 sit-ups, and it's multiplied by the number of set that you're on. So on set 1, it's 1, 2, 3. On set 2, 2, 4, 6. Set 3, 3, 6, 9, so on and so forth. And then you kind of see that right there. There will be a chart at the end of the video that you can take a screenshot of. So if you decide to kind of do this on like an off day, you're taking some time off from the gym, you're on vacation, you're doing a deload week, and you just want to do something completely different than what you're usually doing, that'll be available at the end of the video. And let's talk about some modifications you can make. So if you can't do a pull-up, replace it with an inverted row. The more vertical you are, the easier it's going to be to do an inverted row. The more parallel to the floor that you are, the harder it's going to be. Eventually you're going to build up the strength where you can eventually do pull-ups. One thing that you can do is, if let's say you can only do maybe 5 to 6 pull-ups, do pull-ups for the first 5 to 6 sets and then do inverted rows. That is a modification that you can make there. If you are lacking in the push-up department, you can do an easier variation such as an assisted push-up, a incline push-up. At least I think that's the one where you have your hands on an elevated surface, not your feet. So I always get those two mixed up because they confuse me just because of how some people name, whatever, we'll talk about that some other time. Anyway, your hands are on an elevated surface, makes it easier to get down to a push-up, or you can just be using a knee push-up. One thing that you want to do though is that you want the angle of your body to look the same as if you were on your toes. The next thing you can do is you can replace sit-ups with planks or crunches. If you were to go the plank option, I would either do the seconds of it, because if you are a true novice and have zero training ability, that might be viable for you because you're just building up your ability to stay into a plank position, and 30 seconds of plank for a true novice might be enough. Now, otherwise, just do crunches, because a sit-up is when you use abs and your hip flexors to get the base of your neck over the base of your spine, and then into a full setup. But a crunch, it's just, getting your shoulder blades off the floor, crunching your abs down. So those are some regressions that you can make to make the workout a bit easier. Now, if you want to make it harder, let's say, because like there are some monsters out there who are really good at PT who can like knock that out pretty freaking quick. And if you're one of those people, there's things that you can do to add on to this. You can go up and down the pyramid, meaning you start at 1, 2, 3, so 1 pull-up, 2 push-ups, 3 sit-ups. You could keep going 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. You go all the way up to 10, 20, 30, and then you start going right back down. You go back to 9, 18, 27, 8, 16, 24, so on and so forth until you finally hit 1, 2, 3 again. Another thing you can do is just set a timer. So this is something that you can actually do on both sides. It can be a progression or a regression. It can work in either direction. You set a timer for, let's say, 30 minutes. Get as far into the pyramid in 30 minutes. Get as far into the pyramid in an hour. So when I did this the first couple times, I only went up, but then when I set the timer for an hour, I could only go up. But then as I got better at it, eventually I was able to go up and start going down, but the timer would stop me and then I would go home. Or you can just go until completion. You set a day where you're just like, you know what, I'm not leaving until I get this done. That's an option as well. Another progression that you can make to make this harder is change push-ups to dips. Dips are going to be a lot harder, and when I say dips, I mean them as the parallel bar dips. You can do like the bench dip as a regression. I think that might be another easier push variation most people can handle. So you should think about considering that as well. But if you are doing a dip, you're pushing your whole body weight, and that's going to be a great progression if you find that just going up the pyramid as it's traditionally done too easy. The next thing that you can do is you can add a 100 to 200 meter run. So that's for us Americans who measure things in football fields and cheeseburgers, that is 0.06 to 0.125 miles. So if you're on a treadmill, that's what you would look for as far as the numbers go on your treadmill. If you have a track available to you, much easier. If you are more familiar with just your pacing and distance in general, it might be easier for you there as well. So this is the actual chart. I'm going to remove my face so that way you can take a very nice screenshot of this. All right, so I'm back. So yep, that is the workout. So give this a try, see how you like it, see how far you can get, and let me know. I'd be more than happy to hear how you implement this or when you decide to put it in. What I would usually do is I would use this as a gap workout. So if I were to do a full body, like just straight up strength training workout, I would do this as the 4th day, just because it's much lower impact, training completely different than how I was training for most of the week, and then I can go from there. So that's it for this video. This is not an original program. It was made by Stu Smith. He has a lot more content available on his own website. I think he has 2 websites, and then as well as on military.com. So if you have if you do have like tactical needs or whatever, you can find that on his website as well as on military.com. And there's a bunch of workouts there. Some are good, some are okay, but the necessity of it will depend on what you can get out of it. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Karel King, standstrength.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.